I'm Hahirwabasenga. I'm going to present design thinking process and how it can be used to solve the community problem. In my presentation, this is the time frame that I'm going to follow. First, I'll discuss about the key concepts and steps in the design thinking process, and then the problem addressed, how design thinking principles were used in a solution creation, then come up with question and solution, and also responses to those questions, and then my experience with design thinking. I will be closing with website tour. Let us start by knowing what is design thinking. Design thinking refers to the process where a person who is conducting a research seeks to understand the users, challenge assumptions, redefine the problems, and then create the innovative solution to prototype and test. Within the design thinking process, there are 5 stages to pass through in order to come up with the best solution, where those phases are empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. Let's see the key concepts and steps to follow while designing the solution. We have empathize. This is where the interviews are taking place. You have to collaborate with the end users to know where their problem. As you can see here and on this image, you can see that there is a collaboration between the two people. The second step is define process. This is where you have to define the user's needs and problem. It means that you accumulate the information gathered during the empathize process. The third step is ideate. This is the step where the researcher has to challenge the assumptions and create different ideas that can lead to the best solution to the problem. Have the fourth one, which is prototype. This is like an experimental phase because this is where the solution is created. This means that among the different ideas that you brainstorm during the ideate phase, you pick the best one and then you prototype it, or you go out to see if it will work among the people who are experiencing that problem. The fifth one is the test. This is where you test the solution. It means that you choose that solution that you have chosen to the people and test if it will work. At this phase, you receive the feedback from the end users so that you can refine the solution to make it better. During my research, the problem that I was addressing, it was the nurses at the Europe Medical Clinic who go out during the lunch time and leave the patient alone. This affects the patient negatively because they have to wait a long period of time for the nurses to come back in order to get the treatment they want. As a consequence, within that waiting time period, the patient can face serious issues where some of them may even die because of lacking someone to take care of them. Like in case a patient got an emergency issue, like an accident, and come to the clinic within the lunch hour, so because he or she will not get the treatment in time, he or she can end up losing the life. Let's see the application of design thinking principles in solution creation for the problem mentioned above. This goes with how the 5 steps of design thinking process played a big role in solving the problem identified. It means that it goes hand in hand with working with the end users so that the solution can benefit those people who have the problem. The next 5 slides shows the application of 5 steps of design thinking process in finding the solution to the problem addressed. First, in empathize stage, you identify the end users, those who are being affected by the problem. Then observing the end users to know the problem they have. It means that you have to get the feedback from the end users about the problem they are facing. So I have talked to the patient, and where they told me that they have a problem of lacking the nurses at lunch time. For the second stage, which is define, this is a part where you have to know the reason why the problem is existing. Then you define where the problem and come up with the point of view statement that clearly define where the problem. For me, after defining the problem, I found that the reason behind this problem is that there is the shortage of nurses and doctors within medical clinic, which causes the nurses to go out and leave the clinic closed without other nurses to stay there in order to help the nurses, the patients. There's also iDate. This is the stage where you have to come up with different solutions about the problem identified. So within the problem I was addressing, some of the solutions that you got are the first one is hiring enough a number of nurses and doctors. Second one is having the restaurant at clinic so that the nurses won't go out again. The third solution was that the clinic has to tell the patient that they don't work during the lunch hours. After this, I have to choose a better solution to be tested. So the solution I choose, I was hiring enough number of nurses and doctors so that during the lunch time, when the nurses go out, there will be the other nurses who will stay there, take care of the patients who will come during that time. I have here a prototype, and this is the part where you have to show the solution designed. So in this part, you have to show all the steps to pass through so that the best solution can be obtained. Like for me, I choose the solution of hiring enough number of nurses. So it means that I have to show how those nurses, the process of hiring them, and also the process of how they will be working together, which means that I came to realize that they have to work in shifts. It means that in the time the nurses go out during the lunch time, there will be the nurses who will come to replace them so that the patient can track the treatment that they need. There's also the test step. This is the part that tests the prototype based on the feedback from the end users. So in this design process, the end users are the patient. So I shared the prototype with them more than one time and also collect the feedback from them. After collecting the feedback, I applied them and they come up with the best or final defined solution to the problem identified. So for the first time, I showed them my prototype, then they gave me the feedback, then I go and refine it. Again, I turn back to them at the second time. Also, they gave me the feedback, which also helped me to refine the solution to come up with the best one. I have the questions people might have and their responses. People might ask themselves why hiring enough nurses is the best solution. Hiring enough nurses is the best solution because to help the clinic to work in shifts so that the patient will no longer miss the nurses to care about them. My experience with design thinking was so important for me because it helped me for the following. First, it helped me to collaborate well with the end users, to knowing where their real problem that they are facing. It also helped me to come up with the defined problem, and also it helped me to find and create different solutions about the problem, and also it helped me choosing the best solutions and make the prototype for that solution, and then test, collect the feedback from the end users, and define where the solution so that I can have the best solution. Website tour. This is another part where I'm going to show you how I shared my solution through websites. First, there is a home page. It is include welcome note where I welcome the people to my website, thank them the problem statement where I explain the problem so that the person can know what's going on the entire website. As you can see here, here you have a welcome page. It said, welcome to this healthcare website. We look at the healthcare related problem where the patient are not treated well during the time at the medical clinic. You can see that after reading this welcome note, immediately you get insight about what's going to be stored in this website. Again, here there is a problem statement. Have related to the problem in the community and to address. You have to read this problem and then get a clear understanding of what is being taught in this website. There is also a second page which is about page. This is the part which talks about design thinking processing, and it gives the people the clear understanding about the design thinking model and how it can be used to solve the problem in the community. You can see that about this about page. There's the explanations, which with this part we'll see how the problem identified above can be solved using the design thinking model. This is where you need to pass through the 5 stages when solving the problem in the community. There's also the prototype page. You can see here. This is a page which explains how the solution will work and it shows all the steps to pass through to come up with the best solution. It shows how the solution of increasing the nurses will work so that the patient can have the better solution. You can see where we have to recruit the nurses, then they forming the shifts so that they will be replacing each other in order to keep providing the better services at Hahirwabasenga Medical Clinic. Have also the blog page. This is the page which contains the feedback from the end users, where some of the patients were not happy about not receiving the better services. So some of them they said that waiting a long time lead to death for some patients. So reading this blog page, you get a clear understanding of how the problem was. Have also the last page, which is about contact page. This is the page which gives the people to keep interacting with the clinic. So in case the people finish to read all the entire website and feel like they want to comment or to provide the feedback, they will be using this contact page to drop out to put down their ideas so that the clinic can navigate them and also make some changes. As conclusion, design thinking is the process where researchers solve a problem through understanding the people concerns and choose the best solution among the different and brainstormed solutions and define it based on the people's feedback to come up with the proper final solution. As we have seen, design thinking model has the 5 stages to pass through, which are empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. Designing the solution through all of those 5 stages helps you to come up with the best solution. Thank you very much. In case you need other clarifications, you can even navigate this link, which is under references, to know more about what you have been discussing through this presentation. Thank you very much.